I'd welcome the Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I got my friend April with us from Bookoli. Good afternoon, April. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. So before we jump in and talk about Bookoli, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is April Surak. I go to West Orange High School in Windermere, Florida, but I live here in Cape Canaveral, Florida, where rockets are always happening. SpaceX is right near me, actually, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Um, I am usually the type of subjects and like fields I'm involved in is medicine, specifically neurotechnology interests me, and hopefully in the future I can become a neuroscientist or electrical engineer. So those are one of my hopes and dreams.
That's pretty impressive. So let's talk a little bit about Bookoli. Why did you start this idea, my friend?
Yeah, so I would say that it all kind of started at the end of my freshman year at high school. So I noticed that, especially a couple of years ago in where I live in Florida, there was a lot of debate at the law where how we were teaching reading wasn't necessarily like up to standards. There was still a lot of in a lot of school counties and districts, there was a lot of low test scores in reading in the SAT in where we do is like the FSA best scores. It was extremely low, and in my county where I attend school specifically in Orange County, it was like extremely bad. So like around 70% of eighth graders in our area actually get a 3 or below, which is basically like an at level to below level scores in reading. So for me, that learning about those statistics and also learning that Florida is actually the third like lowest performance in literacy, and knowing that sort of statistics really made me like interested in how can we like approach this problem, right? And also at my school, I noticed that my English teacher, even teachers that didn't taught English, like were complaining about how students don't really read long form text anymore, instructions, books, and how it's like hard to get their attention, how to get them engaged, and how to do that. Like in my school, because of these low scores, we try to do like book reports, but it was very ineffective. It only lasted for like a month, and it just didn't work. So when I learned about that and just my teachers complaining, I try to assess this problem and actually started my Bookly as a science project. So learning about this, I actually like talked to my English teacher more, as well as an IEP coordinator, which works with students with disabilities. And especially learning about dyslexia, I talked to her about that and learned way more than I did. And I kind of started this as an entrepreneurial slash coding journey when it just originated as a science project.
But April, reading is a life skill. You
Yeah.
know, you need it for every area of your life. And I see what you're saying. Sometimes, we buy something, we have to put it together. We look at the instructions like, oh, it's like 6 pages. We want, the Cliff Notes version, so we don't have to do all that reading. So talk to me about how you're helping, people in this area. What are you doing to make this better?
Yeah, so what we specifically focus on is books. So I know we usually focus on literature books. So if you ever went to like in high school English, for example, we're always reading like Shakespeare or getting into Greek literature, like also it just basically all types of literature. Like I know in my platform right now, some students are reading The Great Gatsby as well as um, I think I think a Wuthering Heights from Jane Austen, like these sorts of like difficulty reading books. So it depends on what level you're reading at, and trying to assess like also my platform also diagnoses and provides diagnosis analysis if there's any like struggle with any particular like literacy metrics such as vocabulary recall, comprehension, or just interpreting what you've read, so knowing the tone of it, what the author's really trying to get to you. So that's what our platform is trying to do, trying to help you understand, especially English literature, because I saw that as a lack. I know nonfiction can be more, as I did a survey with my participants, and we found that most of my participants struggled with fictional literature. So I wanted to focus on that. I know me personally, I also kind of struggled on Shakespeare a bit in understanding it. So I used some of that personal experience as well as from my participants and survey data that these are the skills that our participants want to improve on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Shakespeare's not exactly the easiest thing to comprehend and stuff, but I find even students, who are reading textbooks have trouble with retention. I mean, I know you read the chapter, but you're not retaining, the important information. So, April, it's crystal ball time. What are you hoping to accomplish in the future with your idea?
In the future, well, right now I think I'm making I'm trying to make a lot of progress. So right now I have over 150 students
Wow.
across 10 Florida schools, middle and high school, and I'm getting a lot of significant data from that. We've been testing for over 5 months now with these students. So right now I'm trying to get that research published and really have the results out so we can make it more publicly available to people who are interested in our project and see what our project is really doing to these students and improving their reading skills. And I've seen like tremendous progress from these students, both middle and high school students. So that's something I want to get out and work on, as well as increasing the number of books we have used in the platform. So right now, I think I have like around 210 books, they're publicly domain books that are used in platform that can be that are you basically tested in the platform. So I want to probably um enhance that and maybe like make a feature that where it can be pretty much any book, not just in the public domain, as well as approaching different communities. So I'm right now testing at Title I schools. So I kind of noticed that there's students that don't necessarily like have English as their first language. So I want to like probably include like a side by side translation where there's English and their own native language. So there's more comprehension. They can understand it better, text better, and probably work on that feature as well. And right now I'm also trying to just basically expand it as much as I can in Florida where I live, as well as nationwide in lower income communities. And yeah,
That's an amazing initiative, my friend. What's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can I learn more, April?
you can reach out to me probably at LinkedIn.
Yep.
Um, I think it's under my name, April Surak, as well as my email, which is AVRIL, and my last name, SURAC, at gmail.com.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you so much.